It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock. It's not the Monty Zone. It's the TNG Review Show.
Yay! And you only just had the last TNG Review Show on Friday.
I know. Yep. And I managed to get it right today, unlike Friday where I completely got it wrong. But yes, I hope you liked our little custom intro today. I felt inspired.
Sean did.
There was some things in this episode that inspired me to put a little bit of pogo in there. So I hope you enjoyed that, Sean. It was for you, mate.
He says he loves how he leans over and says to you, "Oh, grey hot," and actually talks towards where the never used replicator on the bridge. He doesn't know if it's on purpose, but it tickles him.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Very good. So here we are. Yes, pre-Jubilee with the TNG Review Show. With myself, Monty Man, and my co-host, Maz and McBob. How are you this evening, Maz?
I am very good. I am liking the fact that we've got 4 days till we have to go back to work.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good thing. I'm pretty pleased. And to celebrate that, I have my glass of Chardonnay tonight.
I have my blood wine.
You had your blood wine?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, I hope everyone in chat is looking forward to having a few days off work as well. I have to say it's very timely, very timely.
And Rob is dialing in from Heathrow.
Wow. Oh, he's off to America.
Nice.
Have a lovely time. I got a text from him a moment ago to say, wow, what a day. From a moment ago, I was filling up my hot tub, and now I'm off to Wisconsin. Or Minneapolis.
I think that's a work trip.
So, yes, he's off to visit his overlords.
Oh, 0 days off for Mickey.
Oh, 0.
Sad face. I'm doing a sad face for you, Mickey.
Hang on.
I made your emoji come true.
There you go. That's his sad face.
Sad face. Yeah, Rob says he's reporting into the Borg.
Yes. The hive mind.
The hive, yeah.
Resistance is futile, Rob. Resistance is futile. Yes. Good evening, Stu Plum. Good evening, Rob. Good evening, Mickey. It's good to see you on. Good evening, Sean. I hope you enjoyed our little trailer, our little teaser intro there. Intro. I say trailer because I'm looking at the trailer ready to go for in a moment.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's look at that one then.
Shall we look at today's trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. Here it is.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Commander Data's out of control.
It's gone far enough, Data.
Lives are in danger.
We cannot even call for help.
He's being controlled by a mysterious scientist.
This is why I've brought you here, Data.
And comes face to face with an evil brother. Deadly reunion on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
A deadly reunion indeed. Yes.
Very good.
Very, very good. Let's stop sharing that. And I've got to remember the way I've got the windows around. Once again, memory off. I didn't supply any pictures for this episode, so I've had to curate my own pictures. So I'll be sharing a screen. So I might lose the chat window. So if chat stops on screen, if anybody notices, can let me know. Chat stop. That would be awesome. Thank you very much. We have a mixture in the quiz today of multiple choice and non-multiple choice. Mixing it up for about the 6th week in a row. Keeping you all on your toes. That's me. That's what I'm doing. Someone text Karen. so
Mickey, put it out on the Fortnite.
Put it out on the Fortnite group. Karen, TNG review. Get your ass here before first question. But this evening...
Or Stupler might get another point after his, 2 points already so far this season?
Yes. Come on, Sean.
He's running away with it.
Come on, Mickey. It's time to catch the old guy up. Right. So, here we are. We're here to discuss Brothers. Season 4, Episode 3 of Star Trek Next Generation. Production number 40274-177. It first aired on the 8th of October 1990, just after my birthday, when I was the age my daughter is right now. Well, it's the 76th episode to be both produced and released. So it was the episode that was made just before Family, even though it's the episode that was released just after Family. It was written by Rick Berman. This is the first time Rick Berman's wrote a TNG episode himself, which is interesting. It's the first of 5 writing credits he had for TNG, Ensign Rowe being the next episode. And you were talking about it last week, Maz, how this is that transition phase where Gene really stopped being involved.
Back. Yeah.
And it became Rick Berman's project. And I wonder if that corresponds with the time where, because I think it was even in around these episodes where he was kind of told to not turn up anymore. Just happenstance that Rick Berman wrote his first episode during that time.
Yeah, and they didn't initially, they weren't going to have lore in it, apparently, with the initial concept. And they were talking it through with Michael Pillar. And they thought that because there isn't a childhood trauma to explore or whatever, they weren't quite sure where to bring the more risque element of this reunion. And then as soon as they came up with the lore idea, it just sort of took flight from there. And Rick Berman said it's one of his favorite episodes of all time, I believe.
Well, he would say that.
Yeah.
He wrote it.
Yeah, that's it. One of Rick Berman's favorites.
It's I think this is the best. This is the best TNG review show on YouTube. But
yeah, I
might
do
be
too.
slightly
Funny
biased. Rob asks, wonder why it was a different release and production order. We think it's because they had to do a lot of location shooting for Family.
Which was the last episode.
The last episode. So they moved that forward in the production run, even though it was the first episode of season 4. So we think it's the location shooting that was driving the production order.
That was just deduced. We didn't know that fact anywhere, but they used 2 different farms and sort of things out in the wider California, didn't they?
Yeah. It was directed by Robert Bowman. It's his 13th episode. We've mentioned him as director quite a number of times, and this is his last episode.
Yes.
Before he went off and did things like X-Files and lots of other TV series. We've seen the trailer.
Yep.
Now I'm going to have to change the way oh no. I'll have to change the way... stop it. way I share the thing, because I've got to share the screen. Because you've got to fit everything on. So bear with me a second while I'm sorting myself out. What have I just done? I've done something.
I don't know.
Oh, there you go. No.
We want pictures. Where are the pictures?
There we go. Picture.
Here they are.
Enterprise flying through space. That's what we wanted. There we go. So, teaser. Jake Potts, a child, has been brought before Commander Riker in the observation lounge. He explains how he tricked his younger brother, Willie, into thinking he had killed him with a toy laser pistol by placing a balloon with red dye under his shirt. Willie ran off upset and ate a fruit, which was infected by parasites. He is now in sickbay's quarantine room, fighting for his life. They're heading to Starbase 416, where he'll get immediate medical attention. Willie says Jake says he didn't mean for this to happen, and Riker calls Data to escort Jake down to quarantine to lift his brother's spirits. But what was the name of the plant that the parasite-riddled fruit came from? So that's your question 1.
No multiple choice.
There is multiple choice. I have multiple choice on this one.
Ah.
The name of the plant the parasite-riddled fruit came from, and your choices are clove pine, cove pine, comb pine, or brush pine. Clove, cove, comb, or brush. What type of pine? A, B, C, or D. All the multiple choice ones are A, B, C's, and D's.
I wrote down neither of those, none of those, but I think I know which one it is. I think maybe it's the second word that I got different, but never mind.
Yes. Clove,
Got a D and a
cove,
B already.
comb, or brush. So, en route to sickbay in the turbo lift, Data begins to reassure Jake that his brother should be okay, when he uncharacteristically stops in the middle of his sentence and redirects... Oh, you want picture. Hang on. Oh, would you stop going to the wrong... It keeps going to the wrong thing, Maria.
Silly thingy.
There you go. There they are in the turbo tube. Turbo lift. There we go. So he stops in the middle of his sentence and redirects the turbo lift to the bridge, while no longer even acknowledging the boy's presence. The doors open and Data exits. Jake thinks, oh crikey, that's the bridge. Better hide. And clings onto the turbo lift wall out of sight.
He does do that.
Yeah. Well, the kids and Picard and the bridge, and, you're just not allowed...
It's like when you're a kid and you get like a glimpse through the door of like the teacher's staff room, but you so know it's like a no kid zone.
So that was the end of the teaser. Have you got any goofs, trivs, or anything of interest with the teaser?
Well, there were very few goofs in general. However, I don't know, there's something about the turbo lift with his brother. He reaches over to the right side of the door to indicate a new destination, but the control panel on the turbo lift did not exist in the 3 previous seasons and was never seen again. So there's some control panel that was only seen for this very episode.
All right.
I can't say I've ever really noticed the control panels in the turbo lift, to be honest.
No, but yes, he does. Can push them. I always thought he just said things, but yeah.
Yeah, it's because he was like gripped by a thing where he didn't speak. I suppose it made it
difficult.
They wanted him to like take action, but without speaking. So they put a control panel there for it as a plot device. But no, I mean nothing specific about what's happened so far. I guess some sort of randomy background stuff that apparently originally it was Data's idea to play Noonien Soong. So I thought that was, well, not Data's, I mean Brent Spiner's. I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Don't mind me, everyone. Don't mind me. Yeah.
And they thought at one point having Brent Spiner play so many different characters wouldn't actually work. So they did consider some other actors, and they were, I mean, I guess because of the name Soong, but they were actually interviewing Asian male actors. What's that?
It was palm, not pine.
Yes, that's what I thought.
I'm wrong on all of them.
Clove palm. But yeah, they did. They actually interviewed or auditioned some Asian male actors for it. But then obviously they made it work.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Soong's always sounded like a sort of an Asian name, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah. Yeah. And well, he became the creator of Khan in the end. Spoilers. Ignore that. If you haven't seen that. Yep, so it's palm, not pieing, but ignore that. Ignore... or palm.
Which first word?
Which first word was the right word? And I think we have got some right answers. I think Stu Plum, you said B. Mickey, you said B. Unfortunately, Sean, it wasn't brush. It wasn't brush palm. But it may have been my bad. Karen's not here, so she didn't answer.
So we've got a D, a B, and a B.
Yep.
And a B.
Yep,
Is that
got
right?
3 Bs.
3 rights and 1 wrong. And how many points is that?
Oh, that's what, 20?
Yeah, okay. So 20, and 20 for me.
Yep.
No hazarding a guess from the board Rob in the airport. He says, was it the original band, the weird handle thing? Eddie Murphy did it in Coming to America. I'm not quite sure. In that code, there were not 1 but 2 47s hidden. Sorry, I'm not really following the. I don't know. I'm not sure, Rob. You'll have to give us more elaboration on your comments about Eddie Murphy.
Weird handle thing. Oh, I wonder if he was talking about in the turbo lift. You had that weird handle thing in the original, where you had to get in the turbo lift and turn a handle.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that may be what he's saying. I think the code Data put in there's 2 47s. Yeah. We will be looking at that code a little bit later on.
We will be.
We will be looking at that code.
It might be fraught with error.
It might. I'm going to try saying it. That's going to be fun.
Hey.
I'm looking forward to that. So, yes, moving on to Act 1. Are we kind of off the edge now? I don't know. Everyone. Act 1 then. Data retakes his position at the operations station to a slight surprise from Riker, who thinks that was quick. He begins covertly commandeering the ship. He changes their heading and speed, which causes Geordi to complain from engineering as they're going too fast, and Wes reports the change of direction from Con. Riker asks Data what's going on, but he doesn't respond, and then the computer chimes in that life support's failed on Deck 1, and they've got to evacuate. Please, work, picture. Work. There we go. That worked that time. You can see, as the alert chimes, they all go to their designated turbo lifts to leave and meet in engineering, apart from Data, who pretends to go in the lift but actually stays behind. Wait. Down in engineering, we got this guy comes up. I've forgotten his name. Oh, Ensign Kopf. It's a strange name, Kopf. KOPF. He informs us the Enterprise is holding steady at warp 9.3. Now, I looked at him and thought, I recognise that guy. I'm pretty sure he's like an Ensign Russell, who is in this episode, by the way.
Oh, he wasn't listed on IMDb.
He is in this episode, apparently. He is in this scene somewhere in engineering in the background. I thought, Kopf, he's going to be another guy like Russell, because I recognise his face. And I know he's not gets argumentative, but disagrees with another member of the crew at some point. But then I looked him up on IMDb, and this is the only episode of TNG he is in.
However, he's in 2 episodes of Deep Space Nine.
Correct. In the first series. And he's the Federation security guy that disagrees with Odo in the way Odo does things. When Odo goes and interrogates or lets Quark off for a misdemeanor, he's like, well, that's not how you're supposed to do it in Starfleet. And Odo's like, this is my precinct or whatever.
Lieutenant Primmin.
Primmin, that's the guy. Yeah, so he does come back as another Starfleet. As another Starfleet officer. Yeah. Right, the senior staff arrive. They tried to stop the Enterprise, but are unsuccessful. They realise they have been duped by Data. Just as Data erects force fields all around Deck 1, Riker takes Worf to go find a way in. Question number 2. Oh, I was just going to mention as well, you get these good HD shots of the Enterprise schematic on the back wall of engineering, and in some of them you can see like the Easter eggs that the in-jokes that people like Michael Okuda put on the schematic. So for example, in this particular shot here, you can see Michael Okuda's Porsche parked at the back of the shuttle bay. So,
very cool detail.
Yeah, and in some shots it's blacked out. They edit it out, but in this one you can see the Porsche parked there. There's also an aeroplane in the front section here, and a couple of other things. But yes, but the question number 2: what alert do we see on the bridge when life support fails? Do we see A, green alert, B, blue alert, C, yellow alert, or D, red alert? Green, blue, yellow, or red? So
I'm not actually sure. That would be a guessy guess for me. Sean's saying it'd be weird having a Coming to America crossover after the shooting. Shatner repurposed the throne room to become the Enterprise shuttle bay. Because wasn't there commentary before
That's
about
true.
the fact that
Yeah.
they did reuse some of the same sets.
Yeah.
And Sean says, why was Data the only one going to the battle bridge? Surely they'd all go to the battle bridge instead of engineering. They'd have a full spare bridge ready to go.
Yes, I think the battle bridge set was not made up, and they couldn't be bothered to make it up because it's a bit of a hassle. So they just used engineering because it was easier.
And also, wouldn't it take a while for like the oxygen and the heat to go from the room? It shouldn't be that much of an emergency that they'd all skedaddle within 5 seconds.
Yeah. And you'd think Picard would make sure he's the last one out, because it's a sort of the captain-y thing to do. Mm-hmm. So he kind of
It's kind of a
missed the boat.
character error, isn't it?
Yeah, he generally would be the last one out. Oh, well done. I just noticed, looking back at the chat, that Smiler Rainbow reminded everybody to like the stream. Thank you very much, Smiler Rainbow.
Oh,
Don't
well
forget
done.
to smash that like button. That would be great. Smash it. Show it lots of affection and smash it in the face. I mean, no, don't do that. Right. So, yes, we said the question. Picard tries to contact Data, but he turns off comms. He then orders saucer separation. So once the umbilical cord to the bridge is cut, they should be able to get back control and then go back and pick the saucer section up. But Data on the bridge disengages subspace communications and transfers Alpha 2 commands to the bridge only and cancels saucer separation. So Data's got it all under control on the bridge. Riker and his security team of Worf, and Casey are climbing through the Jeffries tubes, but Data sets force field traps for them and traps them in. Picard orders O'Brien to disable site-to-site transporters and checks in with Beverly to check on the quarantine is holding up and that the boy is okay. She notes that he's okay for now, as sickbay force fields are not affected, but it won't stay that way for very long. And that was the end of Act 1.
Very good. And Sean says, and in fact, wouldn't they just ask Data to stay on the bridge? Because like he could still remain in control and like he didn't need to evacuate with lack of aircon.
Well, that's right. He doesn't
life support.
That's right. He doesn't have. He doesn't need life support, does he? So no. Picard's getting it all wrong today.
Yeah, he definitely is. What else I forgot to tell you? That's too early. So this is obviously the second episode in a row to deal with crew members' families. I mean, they dealt with multiple ones in the episode before. And the following episode also deals with the family issues of a guest star. But being that we've got the subplot going on in this with the kid and the prank, which nicely echoes what's happening with the actual main crew. It just feels like it's back to the original format of having like a main plot and subplot. You know how you love it.
I do. I like the old plot and subplot, and the way they tie together and mirror each other. I think it's very clever. Answer Rob's question: why are Jeffries tubes called Jeffries tubes? Because I can't remember his name. The guy that designed the original Enterprise in the 60s and a lot of the sets and other related things to do with Star Trek was called something like Tim Jeffries. And in honor of all his design work he put in, and for designing the famous Enterprise ship, they named the access tubes after him. They're called Jeffries tubes. You're going to tell me his name, aren't you?
True. No, I was about to, but yeah, it looks like I'm going to need to dig a bit deeper. Then I thought a quick Google would have instantly told me. I'm sure I will find it shortly.
Yeah. Well, keep working on that.
I will. Tim sounds about right, if that helps, but I'll let
Something
you know.
Jeffries.
Yeah.
This is where you say he's called Jeffrey.
No, it's definitely a surname.
Yeah. So, Act 2. Oh no, we didn't do the answers, did we, to the quiz?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, question number 2, answers. So what have we got then? Who has said
Matt
what?
Jeffries.
Matt Jeffries. There you go, Matt Jeffries. We have Sean with yellow alert, Stu Plum with yellow alert, Maz with yellow alert, Mickey with yellow alert. Wow, this is a rare day. This is a rare day. Because nobody got it right.
Wow. Was that a 40-pointer, is that?
That was a 40-pointer. And
I mean, I wrote down yellow on my thing before I put in the same thing that everybody else was putting in, but that was my guess.
it was
red?
a blue alert.
Oh.
And it's only the second time in Star Trek we've had a blue alert. Last time it was in a shuttle in Q Who. But now, it's our first blue alert. And actually, there's an interesting, the sort of thing I find interesting.
Interesting.
I find interesting things.
No, I find it interesting too.
Here we see the original standard definition of Data working at the science console. And you see all the blue lights. In this particular scene where he walked up and sat there, they actually had the wrong lights. They had the red ones on. So they had to, in post-production, color correct the lights to make them all blue, to reflect the blue alert. But when they created the Blu-ray version, they forgot to color correct it. And in this one part of the scene, it's all red. It's all red.
Oops.
But then when they come to put the Blu-ray on Netflix, they recolorized it back to blue again. So, yeah. And in all the other shots, it's blue, just in this one shot where for a while, if you've got the Blu-ray version, you'll see in this one scene it changes to red. But it is blue alert.
Well, there you go. And Sean says, sir, should we do a blue alert? It does mean changing the light bulb.
It does. Sir, that does mean changing the light bulb. Yes.
He also says blue is only used for special functions such as landing and cloaking. Strange it was used here.
It was. You can also see they did the recolorizing a bit better on this one because the central panel there is supposed to stay orange because during the blue alert that was staying orange, but in the original colorizing of it, that actually got turned blue as well, where they should have kept it orange. So they actually improved it a little bit. But yeah, you can see in this scene where I had to quickly move this later on, when I wrote the question, I realized I had this image up on the screen, which would have completely given it away. So I had to quickly move away from this image because it would have been like a bit obvious what color. But I thought,
Mickey's saying they didn't say what alert it was.
No, they didn't say what alert it was.
And he saw blue in the scenes, but he's never heard of a blue alert, so that's why he didn't guess that.
It's the one below yellow, yeah. It's for specific functions. Anyway.
Interesting.
Right, we're in the lab. We're in Act 2. We're in the lab. In sick bay. Beverly is testing Willie when Troy brings Jake along to see his brother. Willie won't acknowledge him though, so Jake storms out in frustration. The Enterprise arrives at Talina 3. Data sets up a cascade sequence of force fields to transport to Room 1. In engineering, Wes reports they have no idea what star system they are in, and Riker says they only knew they come out of warp by looking out the window. Which is a bit of a surprise because Cop was reporting what speed they were going at earlier, so they must have been able to read the dials in engineering to know. So I don't know if Riker was just being flippant rather than actual, he actually had to look out the window. Anyway, O'Brien reports that Data has found the site-to-site lock, so we'll probably be heading to a transporter room now. Picard orders Worf to put security all along the routes. Picard then asks the computer how long it would take them to get to the starbase at warp 9.4, but the computer says no. It says no, you don't have access. And Picard kind of then breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera with a very unimpressed face. The computer goes, "Sorry, you can't have that." And he's like, on the bridge.
I didn't really notice that.
Yeah. On the bridge, Data locks all the command codes with a complicated security code. 173467321476 Charlie 327897777643 Tango 732 Victor 731178873247678976436 Lock. I'm glad I got that out.
It's a shame what he said, or it's a shame the computer didn't take down what he said accurately.
Oh, did it not? Is that not represented here on screen?
Well, I think you read out what is on screen there. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, yeah, what he said and what the console says, it doesn't match.
Oh.
So what Data says, there was an extra 3 after the second 7. There was an extra 4 before 3 Tango, and then on the console there's an extra 1 inserted before the 3 8s, which he didn't say.
Right.
So there's 3 differences between what he said and what is on that console there.
Who wants to listen to it in Pogo's song again? Who wants to listen? I want to. I didn't mean to do this, but I now feel I want to. Not that I know this song really well or anything, but
Captain Jean-Luc Picard 173467321476 Charlie 3.
yeah, you'd have to be watching it on YouTube. Just trust me.
Victor 73117887324767897643676. Lock.
There we go.
I wonder if he said what Data says or if he said what's on the console.
Well, it's the audio from Data, so I'd imagine it would have been whatever Data said. Yeah. Also, just looking at this console here, they recolorized all of the LCARS images in this episode for some reason.
Because they're on blue alert.
Oh, that's why. Because all the LCARS in TNG are always yellow, but they made them all blue. I guess, as you say, because of the blue alert thing. Well done. Yeah.
I have brainwaves every so
You
occasionally.
do, yeah. That's pretty impressive. This is the, you can see it down here, look. So that's what it did look like. Standard TNG L cars colours. And then, changed it to that. Same, they didn't redo it, they just colorized it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, he then heads off to the transporter room with the rolling force fields as a shield. Picture. There we are. Question 3. Now, I'm glad you said what you said a moment ago, because question 3 is, how many 7s appeared in the long security number? Now, here I hope I counted them properly, because I'm not doing very well with the answers so far. I got pine instead of palm, and then arguments over the fact that they never called the blue alert. Now, I probably miscounted the number of 7s. But is there A, 10, B, 15, C, 20, or D, 7? How many number 7s appear in the long security number? Yes. I'll let you mull that over and count. Eh?
I thought I counted different to you then, but I've got it now.
Okay.
That's good.
That's good. I'm glad you didn't come up with like another number.
I thought it was another number for a moment, but I got it.
Yeah. 10, 15, 27. Thank you, Smiler Rainbow. Well done. So, various security teams all try to intercept data en route, but fail because of the force fields. Lastly, Worf gives it a go, confronting me in the corridor, and he has a shot. He has his weapon raised and aimed, ready to knock Data out, but he can't because Data's got to say, "Computer, begin scan phase." And then the computer raises the force field and begins the scan phase, and then a couple of seconds later, then Worf shoots. It's like, Worf.
Poor timing there.
Yeah, come on, dude. You had plenty of time. On entering the transporter room, O'Brien and Riker try to surprise him by being on the transporter pad, but he locks them in with a force field as well. Re-enables the site-to-site beam down and beams down. Who knows where he's gone? I don't know if he knows where he's gone, because he wasn't at a console or anything. He just moved some isolinear chips around, and somehow that actually beamed him straight away.
I don't know if something weird's happening, but Smiler's saying somebody wrote the code, and also Rob was referring earlier to some comments that people had made that I couldn't see them anywhere. So I don't know. I can't see anywhere that anybody's written the code.
The code?
Yeah, Smiler says scroll up. Someone wrote the code.
Oh.
I am in live chat, Mickey. I mean, I'm seeing other people's comments, but for some reason, not all the comments. Weird.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have all the chat.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, in the chat
see
window, I can
Sean
see
wrote
it on the screen, but I can't see it on the chat window on my phone.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Have you got live rather than top? Because there's two.
Live chat.
Yeah, because there's top chat and live chat. I didn't
I'm on live
realize.
chat.
I didn't realize I had top chat selected, so it doesn't doesn't display them all. Do you know how long have I been doing this?
I don't know. What are you
I
saying?
never knew
need
that
to
was
look
a
at
thing.
different chat view?
No, it's
I've
the same.
never heard of that.
It's the same. I don't know if you can see it on the.
I can't see it on. I mean, I can see it on the picture at the top, but I can't see it in my actual chat feed. So anyway, technical issues. We can deal with that later.
Yeah.
It might mean that we're missing other comments that people say, but I did see.
In your little chat window, do you see the little button that looks like little lines going across?
Yeah.
If you click
live
that
chat.
and select live chat, and then scroll up. Yeah. See, I didn't know. All these years, right? All these years, I never knew that.
No. Me neither.
So we learned
And there's
something.
no toggle to show which you're on. You've just
No.
got to go in and find out.
All these years, never knew.
Cool. Mickey was saying about, you mentioned that nobody said blue alert. He said usually Picard or Riker shouts the color, and he said I think Willie probably feels like a hamster.
Yes, in his little glass bowl. Willie, little lad in the goldfish bowl. Or
Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm with you.
Yep.
Sean says, and I should. Oh yeah, that's Pogo talk. That's fine. Oh, anytime the Defiant cloaked or Voyager landed, it was blue alert. So those are good examples of.
Cool. Yeah. Data's beamed down to the planet somehow just by moving some chips around. Don't know how he said to where he's going to land, or he could be in a tree or something. Who knows? But no, he finds himself at the home, a home on the planet, and the home looks like that of a scientist. But I wonder who. And that is the end of Act 2.
So one potential character error is that Data asked for the Enterprise what would be the quickest route between where he was and one of the transporter rooms. And you think Data would know the routes around the Enterprise enough to determine that for himself?
With his
he's a
positronic
computer,
brain.
right?
Yeah.
Why did he have to ask the computer? Yeah. Got another question? Or?
We have the answers to question number 3. How many 7s appeared in the security code? Hopefully everybody's answered, and they could count it from Sean's pasting of the code above that we didn't see before. But I think there's a resounding number of B's for 15.
Yeah. Everybody said B. So 60 points, right?
60 points. Yeah.
So that puts 80, Stu Plum and me on 80, and Sean on 60. So not far
Very cool.
behind.
Do you know, sometimes Smiler says you don't react to any of my comments. I wonder if that's because I didn't see them, because I had the wrong chat option on. Who knows?
She did earlier say something about his name, wasn't it? Reese? Oh, Jeff Reese. Jeff Reese.
Jeff Reese. Very good.
As in first name, second name.
Yes.
I like that one.
Jeff
Sorry,
Reese
forgot to mention
Tunnels.
it.
Okay. Right, we're on to Act 3. The scientist turns out to be none other than Noonien Sung, who is presumed dead after the Omicron Theta colony accident. Sung, with a bit of dentistry, brings Data back from his hypnotized state. Data's a bit confused as he doesn't remember what happened. He tries to contact the Enterprise to no avail. Data doesn't immediately recognize his creator, but after some prodding from Sung, realizes who he is. Data asks how can this be? Sung tells him he never lives anywhere without an escape plan. Just didn't think he would be running away from a giant snowflake. Data's like, oh dang, you're my daddy. In engineering, boy genius Wesley realizes that the quarantine field was the only thing Data left alone, so they could use this to get back onto the bridge. Picard says, make it so. In quarantine, Beverly is telling the boy bad doctor jokes when Geordi enters and tells them nothing is happening. Willie still thinks he's going to die, though. But it's Willie or won't he? That's the question.
Oh, dearie me.
Is that bad?
How old do you think Soong is? Do you know?
Sung.
Noonien Soong?
135.
Close, but he's not quite that old. 105.
Oh. I guessed 135 later in the...
What did you think of his makeup?
Yeah. It is what it is, isn't it? When you have a big rubber face making it look like an old person.
I mean, these days it obviously looks a bit crap, doesn't it? But this episode was actually nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Achievement in Makeup for a series. So clearly, at the time, it was really good.
No, they just use CGI, wouldn't they, to age your face?
Yeah, they would. And apparently, Brent Spiner said he didn't really know what to do with the Soong character until he had the makeup on. So he said, about 75% of the performance was due to the makeup guys and Michael Westmore. And he said, he basically put the idea onto my face and then suddenly I understood what I had to do. So that's pretty cool. He also said that everybody treated him with so much more respect because he looked like an old dude, and the older he acted in between scenes, the nicer people were to him on set. So I thought that was quite funny. Respect for your elders.
Yeah. Sean says Jeff Reese might have had a hard time, but he's got nothing on my friend Jim Appel. Went to France. Jim Appel.
Oh, God.
Jim Appel.
Dearie me.
Oh, dear. Right, it's question time. You'll be pleased to know. Talking of questions, it's question time. In the lab, there are Orby things on the wall. You want to see them?
There's so much stuff in the lab, though.
This is in Beverly Crusher's lab that we're in. The
Crusher's
quarantine.
lab.
The quarantine.
See.
Oh no, that's not where. Why are you being like that? Don't be like that.
Orby things.
Don't be. Yeah, you see these things? These things.
Oh, those things.
Yeah, these things.
Giant traffic lights all stuck on red.
Giant traffic lights. Yes. Was that red or pink?
You want to get some flashing lights in there.
Yes. So in the lab, we have these Orby things on the wall. In this episode, they're already pink. But when we last saw this lab in Best of Both Worlds, what colour were they? So what colour were those Orby things in Best of Both Worlds?
It will be a guess.
There's no multiple choice on this one. You've just got to know the answer.
Hi there. Is that you, Sophia? Hi there.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Hello. What colour are the bally balls? Yes. Thanks, Smiley.
I want to say green if it was in Best of Both Worlds, but I'll guess something else.
Okay. So whilst answers are coming in, I'll carry on. They get onto the bridge, but because they don't have the long security code thing, they still can't access anything. Worf, though, does pick up a single life form on the surface of the planet and a vessel entering the system with no life forms on it. On the planet, Data is patting his head and rubbing his belly, as soon surprised he can actually do it. Yeah, I can do that. There you go.
There you go.
We're all as good as Data. Soong asks why he joined Starfleet, and Data confides that it's because Starfleet officers rescued him. Soong expresses disappointment that he's just following his emancipators. He asks him if he's ever thought becoming a scientist, possibly even a cyberneticist, like his old man. And Data asks why he was created. Soong says, why does a painter paint? A boxer box. A farrier ferry. A taxidermist tax. A nutter nut. I don't.
The thing is, like, when Soong said that,
them up.
Yeah, I think you did. When Soong said about, I wish you were a cyberneticist, wouldn't that have been an ideal time for Data to have said to him, well, actually, I did create a whole other, like, sort of song. In fact, your granddaughter and like,
I created your granddaughter. Yeah.
But he never mentions it in his entire visit. It just seems a bit odd.
I tried it for a weekend, created my own life form, and then that surpassed yours in every way because it actually became human. But I've kind of done that.
Oh dear, funny.
Okay, I'll die now then. Right. Anyway, it was because they need to do it. They need to do those things. A farrier needs to ferry. Okay, does anybody know what a farrier is?
Isn't it to do with horseshoes? No.
A blacksmith that shoes horses.
Ah, there you go.
Yes, a farrier. Doesn't ferry things around.
No.
So they go on talking about old things and the human need for continuity and legacy. We have children to achieve a kind of immortality. And Soong's like, well, there you go. Now, Data, you have your answer. Just then, another Data enters the room. But it's not Data, not another Data. It is a Lore.
Hey, Lore.
There he is, Mr. Lore.
And you know what he's wearing there?
A brown sack.
Oh, do you not know what it is? It's
No.
I believe it's a
Pack-led outfit?
pack-led costume.
'Cause
Yeah.
he mentions he was picked up by pack-leds.
Yeah, it's a pack-led outfit, which was auctioned off in an online auction. I know whenever I say that, you go, for how much? And I go, I don't know. This time I do know, for $2,155.
Oh.
Two odd grand for a Lore pack-led costume.
I'll have two.
I think it might be one of a kind. Never
Sean.
should have.
That's very good.
Sean.
Sean.
Language.
I was going to read that, but I thought no.
Sophia, don't read that. Yeah, Sophia, don't put that into translate.
No. Anyway, that was the end of Act 3. So we talked about the pack-led outfit. I mean, he talks about being picked up by them. Shall I give the answer to the question?
Yeah, Mickey's not too sure.
What colours have we got?
We got Sean says blue. I say white. Stu Plum says blue. Mickey says was also thinking blue, but I'm sure it's orange. So what are we taking his answer on that one?
Well, if I say it doesn't matter, does that help?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
that does help.
Let's have a look. Let's have a looky-loo. Let's see if we can see a picture from the last episode. Bear with me a minute. Uh-oh.
Oh, darn it.
Darn it. What did you say to begin with?
I said, oh, I'm tempted to say green because it's best of both worlds, but no, I'll go with white.
Oh.
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 Oh. Well, so
Darn it.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't think anybody gets that one right. Again,
Sad times.
another one.
Hard questions tonight.
I am being mean tonight. I am being mean.
Smiler's asking Sean to edit his comment, but I'm not sure you can edit past comments.
Why?
You can remove them. Because he put a swear word in it, I guess.
Oh, it's okay. You can swear in it. That's
You
fine.
can swear.
I'll let
it's
you.
fine.
I'll let you. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Anyway, this office thing, like where Soong is, he's got a lot of stuff on the walls. Do you know anything about any of the stuff on the walls?
He's got lots of stuff on the walls.
Apparently, there's a dinosaur skeleton head, which was rented from the Museum of Natural History. And there's also reuse of a prop lighting. So Soong just happens to have the exact same model of wall fixture as Kivas Farjo.
Well, there's a lot of
in
that
his
going
gallery
around in
room.
this universe.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. Yeah. Oh, and also, yeah, of course, we saw the interior of a comm badge for the first time, which was quite interesting to see the, the bits and bobs and the little red blinky light thing.
Okie dokie. Right, we're on to Act 4. We're cruising along. Data implores Soong not to turn Lore on because Lore's still in that sort of catatonic state that Data was in when he arrived. Soong doesn't listen though and turns him on. Laura immediately sees Data and goes into attack mode, but soon stops him with a shush now. Laura's a bit peed because he just spent the last couple of years floating about in space. Question 5.
Ooh,
Ah, you didn't expect that, did you?
no.
We have seen Laura before. But what was the name of the episode where we first met him?
Mm.
And it's no multiple choice in that one either.
Oh,
So what was the name of the episode where Laura first appeared? Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
I'll probably have to be careful what comments I talk about because some of them mention it.
Ah,
Earlier, not that really is that interesting, but Data mimicked Picard's voice. The only other time he's done that so far was the pilot encounter at Farpoint.
oh yes, he did, didn't he?
And there's quite a few comments. I mean, I'll try and summarize them about the fact that Data's obviously playing 3 people in this scene.
Yeah, it's all
So,
done. Yeah,
Yeah, there were, sorry, Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner.
There were obviously some logistical issues around that, like trying to sort of react to a conversation when you haven't had the other side of the conversation yet filmed was a bit of a challenge. And apparently to make him more comfortable, they actually made it a closed set for 2.5 days for him to film all these scenes without anybody watching.
Right.
So either whether through free trial and error or just because he was having to concentrate so much and trying to imagine so much as well as acting at the same time. But they did spend 3 days in advance of any shooting actually happening with Brent Spiner and Rob Bowman, sort of rehearsing and blocking the scenes where Data was playing these multiple roles. So it's obviously quite a challenging time.
It works seamlessly, I have to say. The scenes are great.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
You wouldn't have think throughout any of it that
No.
how it's done. It just seems seamless. So they did
does.
they did a really great job. Because sometimes when you get these multiple character things, you're sort of taken out of it with like jaunty cuts or obvious like fake backs of the head or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was really, really well done in that. Sean went straight in there with the name of the episode there. He didn't hold back. He just got straight in there with the answer. So props. I think maybe some double points. So Soong explains how they both have homing devices in their brains, but Laura's like, "Okay, that's great, Dad. I'm out of here. See you later." Soong's like, "Wait a minute. If you've got any questions for me, you need to ask them now because I'm dying." Laura's like, "Nah, you're fine. Look at you. You don't look a day over 130.
Yeah, you got loads of time. Oh
Yeah.
no, his face is basically melting off.
He looks like a human that's mixed with a half melted candle." But yeah. Back on the Enterprise, the senior staff are in the observation lounge. They're still dead in the water. They don't know what to do. The doctor says Willie only has 36 hours top, else Willie will turn into a won't he? I did the same bad joke twice.
Deary me.
People might not notice.
Oh, we noticed. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Riker thinks they can use Data's trace-in print to fool the computer into thinking it's Data beaming down. Jodie thinks the idea's a grower, even though the rest of the room look at him as though, "What are you talking about?" Back on the planet, Data says Laura said that the colonists envied him for how human he was, but Soon's like, no, it wasn't envy, it was fear. Data realizes that everything Laura said was lies. He's not less perfect than Laura. Data isn't. He's not less perfect than Laura. He's not less perfect than Laura. Sung tries to apologize to Laura for not fixing him, saying that if he knew he was put back together and floating about in space, he would have got him and worked on him all this time. But as all he knew was that Data was here, he spent his remaining days working on Data instead. And the fruits of his labour is Data's new emotion chip. Da-da-da-da-da. It's smaller than I remember.
Yeah. It's obviously the first appearance of it, but it changes in size, shape, and where it's installed throughout the series until it becomes a large 1-inch square that fits in the top of Data's head in the film Generations.
That's what it is.
I think each time we see it, it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because they lost the original prop. Because look at it, it's tiny.
Yeah. I mean, they did have problems with thievery and props and stuff, and anybody could pocket that without you noticing. Although you would think it wouldn't be that difficult to replicate. I mean, you can barely see it, right?
You can barely see it. It's like a grain of sand.
Smiley Rainbow says this is where we need Dove Cameron to come on chat again. Have you shared that story, Monty? I don't know who with, but that happened when we were on Fortnite, didn't it?
We were on Fortnite, yeah. Yeah, we had, I don't know if you know, if Sean, whether you know who Dove Cameron is, but she joined the live chat on one of our Thursday night Fortnite live streams and spent some time chatting to us.
Saying, what is this game you're playing? I've never heard of it.
It was the most surreal evening we've ever had.
Yeah. It's quite fun.
Yeah, it was when a subscriber got chatting to her on a live stream she was doing, and ended up taking her to some of his live streams, including ours. It was very weird.
I get it now. Smiley Rainbow saying because of Dove Cameron playing multiple characters. Because she played twins in that Disney series.
She did. She spent, she became famous for playing two characters in a Disney show where she played twins going to high school. One was sporty and one was brainy.
And according to Brent Spiner, he got a lot of his sibling rivalryness and the feeling that he put into this from his own life and his own brother from childhood. So that was quite sweet. Sean says someone stole Worf's S1 Series 1 forehead, which is kind of true a bit in that Michael Westmore, the makeup guy, said the first thing he did in creating the makeup for Dr. Soon was to build up his cranial structure to suggest that he had more brain cells than a normal human being. So yeah, he specifically gave him a mahoosive forehead.
He has got a mahoosive head.
Yeah.
Give him that.
A cranial structure a Klingon would be proud of.
Yeah. But yeah, they did lose or lost or got stolen Worf's head. But I preferred the new one. It's more rigidy. Yeah. Where were we? Oh, Law thinks...
Oh, sorry. I actually thought that was a reference to Soong, but no, it's actually was a reference to things being stolen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. That is a true thing. Stuplum's trying to say something in chat, but I'm not sure what. But he's given in. He's given in with it. He's not doing it. He's out. I'll just finish off Act 4. So Law thinks Data might even learn to understand his evil brother, but Data's skeptical. Before inserting the chip, though, Soong's tired and needs to rest, leaving Data and Laura alone. Laura smiles at Data and gives him a little wink, and Data looks concerned. So yeah, that was the end of Act 4.
Spoilers for those of you that haven't seen it, but obviously the emotion chip becomes quite a big plot device in Descent Part 1 and 2. Also Generations and First Contact, as we mentioned, and in Inheritance, which I think is that the one with his mum in?
I don't know. Can't remember.
I don't know, but yeah, Inheritance.
Right. So the answer to the question. And I think we have one answer. That was Sean. Everybody else gave in. Sean just nailed it out the gate. It was data lore. That's correct. So
Nicely done, Sean.
top points for Sean.
That would be 80 points, right?
Yeah.
So Sean catapults into the lead with 140. Mickey, Stuplum, and me all on 80. Sean's saying that Twitter's pretty amazing to talk to Star Trek alumni if you're respectful, that like the backstage people. I think I was saying to you, is it Michael Moore? I can't remember. One of the guys that did all the props and stuff. He's on one of the Star Trek fan groups, and he often posts pictures. I think I showed you before, like the molds to make the little weird things that were in Conspiracy and stuff like that, and original props and pictures and stuff. He's posting some really cool stuff on there all the time. But yeah, apparently on Twitter, you can talk to some of these backstage people and really find out about things that they've done and discussing props and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. And I do love following Shatner. He's very funny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're on to the final act. On the Enterprise, the away team of Riker, Worf, and Geordi beam down to the planet. In the lab, Sung inserts the chip into Data, and it's like, plop, that's it. Just opens it up, plop. It's like, why did you have to go to sleep for that? It's like you made it sound like a really technical procedure. It just goes, plop, push the button, goes in, that's it, done. Takes about 2 seconds. But oh no, Data starts acting all weird, like Lore, singing Abdullah Bulbul Amir, which Mickey thought was creepy in our text chat earlier. He calls Sung often wrong Sung, because that's what the colonists used to call him. And Sung's like, did Lore tell you that, Data? And then he makes up a rhyme on the spot. Wrong's got a broken heart. He can't even tell his boys apart. The song realizes he's been duped. He tries to tell Lore that the circuits were designed for Data and weren't meant for him. Lore doesn't listen though. Lore's like, I don't know what it's doing, but I feel it doing something. Like Sean says earlier in the chat there, I don't know why why Lore really wanted it that badly, because he already has his emotion chip and emotions. So what did he expect to get out of it?
No idea.
I don't know. But
I guess it's more about stopping Data from
reaching his potential,
becoming more perfect, and reaching his potential, than it was about trying to get something for himself. What git?
What a git. What a git. Anyway, he throws Song across the lab. Then he uses a button.
Oh, I hate seeing fingernails bent backwards like that. It makes me cringe. Oh, just stop it.
What?
I'm not watching.
What?
I'm not watching.
What?
I don't like it.
It's not a real fingernail. It's okay. It's only a machine.
I know, but it's still. When I see it, it makes me think of what it feels like, and that's not nice.
Okay, I'll go back to the previous picture. There you go.
Yay!
So it's just the whole side of a
that
neck
I'm not
open
bothered
up.
by. Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all.
Anyway, he uses a button under his thumbnail to beam up to his ship. But before he goes, sing some more of the song, the Abdullah Bubble Amir, ending in a ba 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 line, which is also in the Pogo song. Did you get that?
See why you felt moved to add it in
Yeah.
to the intro.
Does anybody want to hear the ba 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 ba?
You can show everybody the ba 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 ba.
Look,
if you like.
I closed the tab, didn't I? That's
Sad
silly
times.
of me, isn't it? Hang on. I'm going to get copyright strike for sure.
You have loved and lost, and never have loved at all.
Anyway, there you go.
Funny.
The away team finally make it to the lab and find Sung on the floor. Oh, there we go. Geordie spots it's Sung straight away. He's like, my God, it's Dr. Sung. And Worf finds Data and Riker switches him on. Sung apologizes for losing his chip. Riker gets annoyed as he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Data explains, but Riker's like, we've got bigger problems. We've got this whole dying kid storyline that we've got to wrap up. Sung tells Data how to access his missing memories, and Data's like, whoops, I didn't realize I'd caused any trouble. But question 6, what instruction clears Data's memory block? What instruction does Sung give him that clears Data's memory block? Is it A,
Not as
instruction 5155? Is it B, 1511? Is it C, 5515? Or is it D, 5511? Is it 5155, 1511, 5515, or 5511? There you go. Riker wants to take Sung to sick bay, but he refuses. He says he's lived here for a long time and he wants to die here. Data says goodbye to his old man. He tells him it's okay that you'll die because I will remain alive. And they say goodbye to each other. It's like, is that supposed
that
to
would
be?
make me feel great, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's okay for you to die because I'm still alive. Oh, you. Later on the Enterprise, all is well. The boy is saved. Data gives the brothers some dinosaurs he found in Sung's lab, which seems to fix their problems. Data is pleased that they forgave each other. And Beverly is like, they're brothers, and brothers forgive. And they go off to their next adventure.
Couple of little teeny weeny effects mistakes when those guys on screen beam down, as in Worf and Riker. You see them disappear, but then their reflections are still sort of on the ceiling. Really applied the effects to like part of the image. And I didn't notice this myself. I think I must have been making notes at the time, but apparently when Sung asks Data for the reason why humans are so fascinated with old things, you can see his hands, and apparently you can see quite obviously that it's like an old man glove, and you can see his skin underneath and stuff, but I didn't actually notice that one.
I also noticed when he was laying on the floor, his trousers were all wrinkled up, and you could see he had like young man legs.
Ah, yeah.
Which didn't quite match the rest of his appearance.
Mm-hmm. It should have been like liver spotted or something, you know.
Mm. Not that I was looking at Brent Spiner's legs.
His legs.
I just happened to notice that.
And the only other little final comment, which is just a bit of real random trivia, I guess, but apparently while they were filming this on set, Brent Spiner met a couple of comic book artists, and it was Jerome K. Moore and Arne Starr, which I thought it might have been, you know, like DC comic book artists or something, but I've looked them up, and apparently it's actually more Star Trek comic books that they're known for, so it's all sort of, you know, in the same franchise. But anyway, they made him like this little caricature thing, which had Brent Spiner depicted as Superman, and it said the man of Schlemiel, and then it had a phrase which was, it's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's Spiner-Man. And apparently Brent Spiner kept it on his desk for like years and years after that, like it was sort of, you know, framed in a bit of a fond keepsake for him. And I looked up the word Schlemiel, and it's Yiddish for somebody who's like a bit of a dummy and really accident prone and always getting things wrong. So I'm like, he really, really treasured that. And actually it's kind of an insult, right?
Like schmuck.
Yeah. The man of schmuck. Schlemiel. Yeah.
Schlemiel.
And I guess like reading that, I mean, it probably should have occurred to me, but made me realize that like Sung, he plays like this, like an old Jewish guy, right? That's how
He
Soong
does.
kind of comes off.
Yeah.
And I just guess it never really sort of occurred to me before that that's how he was played with his Asian sounding name.
Yeah. It's all mixed up in the future, though. I mean, with everybody moving about over hundreds of years,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, should we go to the answers of question 6?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling this is either going to be a really, really high scoring round or super low because everybody's gone A.
I've got A. Yeah.
A. Well, the answer is unfortunately A. So, yes, everybody got it right.
And how many points is that?
Oh, hundreds. I don't know.
Like 100. I think I might have missed one of the points things at some point because we had so many rounds
Usually
where
it's
we got them
100
all
and
wrong.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, but the last one I only awarded 80 points.
You can give it
Surely
whatever
that
you
would've-
want. You can give it whatever you
Well,
want.
I'll give it. It makes absolutely no bloody difference because we all got the same amount, didn't we?
Yes.
So,
You might as well give one point.
yeah, I give 1 point. So that basically has Sean winning the day with 240 points,
Hey.
and Mickey, Stuplum, and myself all in second place with 180 points.
Cool.
Well done, Sean.
Well done, Sean.
First-
Well done,
first
Sean.
mark on the
First
scoreboard
win
for this season.
this season. Yes, very cool.
Sean says, reminds me of Crichton carrying the other one of his model, saying, "You need a hand, Crichton." He says,
He ain't heavy.
"What does he say?"
He's my brother.
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. Yep. Start thinking about your scores out of 10 and let us know what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was rubbish? Let us know in chat. Give us your scores. What were your scores? What were you scoring this episode? Let me get whilst you're thinking about your scores, I'll just get to the sheet and put Sean's winning. Season 4.
Oh, I'm sort
Sean.
of between two scores.
Oh, not 12.
But I've picked one.
Yeah, gotta cut you out and insert one row above. There we go. I've stuck you in there and giving you
Sean
the
says,
grey.
to everyone, just remember, it is possible to commit no mistakes and still to lose. That is not a weakness. That is life.
That is true.
What's that a quote from? I'm guessing that's a quote.
Yeah, I think
Sounds
it
like
is.
something Picard would say. Sean says he was thinking of giving it a 7, but it's so iconic and not just for Pogo. Blue Alert, all the Soongs, so 8. Mickey says 7. Stuplum, any marks out of 10 from you? And Smiler, feel free to give your marks out of 10. We average over everybody.
Ria's now writing them all down so she can average it out in a minute.
Oh, crap. Am I supposed to be doing that?
Oh, yes. I can do it if you want.
Got a 7 and a 7 and an 8.
Oh, what's this one? Brother, isn't it? Brother. Right. Brother. So, yes.
Oh, he said Picard did say it, that episode with the war games and the Ferengi interrupt. Was it called War Games? Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
What is it called?
It sounded very Picardy. I knew it was a Picardy quote.
What is it? It's not. No.
The
The Icarus Factor? No.
Strategy? No. I can't remember.
I can't remember which episode it was. Was it unless it wasn't season 1, was it? It might have been. Heart of Glory? No. I can't remember what episode it was. Of the battle. Was it the bell? I don't know. Anyway, right. Have we got the scores in then? Have you got your score paddle ready?
We've got a 7, a 7, and an 8. I've got my score paddle ready.
Yeah.
You got yours?
I've got it. Yep.
Right then.
3,
2, 1.
2, 1. Ba-doing. Ah, look at that.
8 and an 8.
We've gone for an 8. That's
and an average of 7 in chat.
Average of 7.
7.33.
Well, 7, 8. I think that's pretty right. I think that's right. It's
marginally higher than Family.
Yeah, it's probably.
I'd say it's a pretty strong episode. It felt some really good play by Brent Spiner. Obviously, as you say, those multi-person playing the same part scenes were pretty flawless from a reaction and an interplay and an acting perspective. A bit of dodgy makeup, but that's just sign of the times. Peak performance. Thank you, Sean.
Peak performance. Yes.
Well done.
That was season 2,
Absolutely,
wasn't it?
it was.
Was it season 2? Or was it?
Yeah, it's there at the end there.
Peak performance. What do we give that one then? An 8, a 6, and a 7. Yeah, it's high average for that season. It's a good episode. I like that episode. Hence why I gave it an 8. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's lots of good things in this. I like the lore versus data things, and I like the fact that it was a 2-tone story, the main and the backstory. And I like the whole, I like it when we have drama on the bridge and you see like the bridge empty and it's dark lighting and something subversive is going on. I always used to, when I was a teenager watching this, get excited when those sort of things happened. And, Data taking control of the Enterprise. I enjoy that. That sort of stuff. So I really liked it. And I really didn't appreciate it back then because I thought the sung makeup was not so great. I know they got award for it or nominated, but I always thought it looked I thought his head was too big and he looked kind of ridiculous. But actually, as I'm older, I kind of look at the direction and how they actually, as you say, put that scene together, and it works so well that you kind of appreciate the episode a lot more, realize that they really did a good job. Did anybody say anything about it in Facebook? Was there any scores?
Yes. I don't know if I'll be able to put my hands directly on them.
Okay, no worries.
But there were a couple of people who commented. One person said 11 out of 10. I think another person said 10 out of 10. Generally, the people that were commenting said they really loved this episode. One guy wrote quite a long diatribe about how amazing he thought it was and how he loves Brent Spiner. So generally very favourable stuff.
That's good. Was there anything else I was going to say? Oh, there is this is a better shot where you can see the car on this side, and you can see an aeroplane parked on this side. I don't know if you can see my cursor actually, but
yeah, no, I can. Yeah.
So that was just that, but there were shots in this same episode where the car and the aeroplane were gone.
Oh.
So they blacked them out. They blacked them out because of this close-up shot. They oh no, that's too obvious. It looks too silly. So they blacked it out, but then left it in. There is here on the right-hand side. I don't know if you can see this. This is the computer Nomad from the original 60s Star Trek. It's Nomad laying on its side. But they left cool. Nomad in, but they took the plane and the car out.
So yeah, this is the guy. So 11, lol, love this episode. The way Data subdued the Enterprise and got to the home planet, leaving them stranded, was amazing. It shows how dangerous Data would be if he wasn't on our side. I love meeting Mr. Soong, this father. He was the type of polymath eccentric I would expect of a father of robotics, genius, and lore. Wow, it was so wonderful to see him again. I love the story of how he picked up drifting in space by Packleds. He even has the transporter in his thumb, the emotion chip too. Wow, but bummer, lore steals it. But we find out Data's actually more humane and perhaps emotionally balanced in his own way than lore. This is one of my fave Date episodes. Date episodes are some of my fave to begin with. So that was the diatribe. I was a big Data fan.
Good.
Lots of wows and this. Wow.
One of the things I wanted to say was the planet was a reuse of Kronos, the Klingon planet.
Oh.
It in the original episode, but as they redid the effect shots, they created a new CGI planet for this episode in the Blu-ray and Netflix versions. That was it, really. I can show you a relook at the thumb again if you want.
Not really.
No. There's a final look at the quarantine chamber at the end, the final end of the episode. Willie, not being a Wountie, but continuing to be a Willie in his gerbil cage. Yeah, there we go. So, what's up next? It's Suddenly Human. So we probably want Suddenly Human. TNG.
Don't remember this one being amazing, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Well, I did play this trailer
By accident.
last week.
Yeah.
But I am just going to share it properly for you, Maz, so you can hear it.
Star Trek. I love his voice.
Here we go.
I love being in 10 forward.
It's good, isn't it?
Next time on Star Trek The Next Generation, a shocking secret torments an orphan child.
Injuries so severe, they might be considered torture.
Only Captain Picard can protect him from a violent father.
If he is not aboard the Khmer in 5 minutes!
Threats could lead to war. Vengeance could end in tragedy. On the next exciting episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
He either just stabbed Picard or just stabbed himself in the willy. I'm not quite sure which way it went.
Looked harsh.
It looked harsh, whatever it was. Yeah. Anyway, that's up next week. Not sure kind of what episode that is. Interestingly, what was I going to say?
I thought you'd frozen for a moment there.
No, I actually had a human.
Everything just stopped.
I was going to say. No. I saw Nikki's Star Citizenship comment, and I saw Star Citizen, and I automatically thought, ooh, Star Citizen. And started thinking about Star Citizen mid-sentence, and then completely lost
lost your thread.
I lost my thread. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. Suddenly Human next week is the first episode that was produced for this season. So whilst it's the third episode we're reviewing and was shown, we're kind of going back to the first episode that was actually made for this season. So
only 3 people liked this episode, and I know I did. So whoever's watching and hasn't smashed the like button, do it.
Sad times. Well, we hope you.
We cry live if you do not.
We hope you enjoyed that, and join us again next week for Suddenly Human.
I'll be there. Will you be there?
I'll definitely be there. Yes.
Hopefully those guys will be there too.
We hope to see you too. Thank you, Stu Plum. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Smiler Rainbow. Karen, you're being demoted. And we'll see you next week. Cheers all.
Hey.